I congratulate you for coming into my course over here. I will say how to make money in this video. I need you guys to realize what making money is. I need you to realize that money is never important. I need you to see something better than money. I need you to see that freedom is more than money. I never need you to work for money. I never need you to make money. I need you to make freedom. I need you to agree with me. I need you to say, I agree. I promise that those people who never say I agree, I promise they will always be slaves of money. I promise you that when you work for freedom, I promise you then money is important. I promise you that the world has it twisted today in 2020. I promise you that for the next 100 years, I promise you until the year 2120, I promise you people are going to be working more for money than for freedom. I realize there's a difference between freedom and money. I need you to realize why you need to be free over the money. I need you to see what freedom is. I need you to see that working for freedom is everything. It means working for God. I will say it means working for God. I will say honestly, I have to also place my eye in perspective in every single conversation I ever do. I realize that I work for God. I never work for money. I realize I fall in my communication. I realize now I never ever disrupt my I process. I need to always elaborate my I in every single sentence so I can work for free. I realize the most important aspect of life is never the money. I realize it's God. I realize those people who make money are really working for free. I need you to understand that you never go and price yourself ever about your content. I need you to look at my Mega Drive. I need you to realize that I gave money for it. I also give it to you for free. I need you to realize what true richness is in this video. I need you to realize that my content here is all for free. I never need you. I never like you. I never have you in my life. I just give you free knowledge. I never even do it for you. I never even do it for me. I do it for God. I need you also to do the same thing. I need you to realize that I'm just somebody passing on a message for God. I need you to realize that in the future, I realize there is a future. I realize I just never need you to be in the future. I need you to be in the moment. I realize I need you to plan right in the moment for everything. I need you to realize that you can also go in the past. I realize no matter what, you must be in the moment. I realize there is a nice continuation here. When you have an I, you can also be anywhere in the world. I realize that you can be in the past and future only with your I intent. I need you to relax. I never need you to go in the past and future. I need you to be here. I need you to be here with me for now. I need you to realize what's going on, guys. I realize that the world is working for money. I realize that people are slaves to money. I need you to realize that I never need you to lose your eye. I never need you to disrupt your process. And I never need you to skip ahead anywhere. I need you to place your I message in every single video that you ever do in life. I need you to realize what I is. I is a word. Ideas. I mean I for ideas. I have the letter I. I need you to realize what that is. I need you to realize that the more you use this word, I promise you, you'll make all the money you ever need. I need you to realize that you need to do something for free. I don't know what it is. I promise you that the 9-to-5 jobs will never give it for you. I promise you that the 9-to-5 jobs will only scam you with money. I realize that they put a price tag on you. I realize that you're worth this much per hour. I promise you, you're worth so much more to God. I promise you that you are worth so much more for God. I promise you that God will never place a money value on you. I promise you that you were created freely. I promise you that you deserve to be free. I never need you working for money. I never need you to work like a slave. I realize that many questions go around saying, how much do you need to make in money per month? I realize that's a stupid question. I never ask that question anymore. I never ask the question, how much do you have to make money per month? I never ask the questions, how much money do you need in life? I never care about money goals in life. I never need you to set money goals in life. I never need you to have money in life. I need you to have freedom. I need you to realize John Raymond. I need you to realize his book. I say, live like you are broke. I need you to realize that his book teaches you how to be broke. I need you to realize that those people who are broke and working for free will always, always, always have money coming around. I promise you, it's like a miracle. I promise you that God will just put money into your life. I promise you that my biological dad came up to me and gave me $20. I have free money. I just made 1 hour worth what somebody at McDonald's works 3 hours for. I promise you they work for $8 an hour. I promise you they're worth more than that. I promise you that person can do more for God than work for $8 an hour. I need you to realize that free work will make you all the money that you ever need. I promise you it's really the wisdom that you need. I promise you it's never really the money. I promise you that money will never grow you. I promise you money will only amplify who you are. I mean, it's only going to make you who you are. I mean, it's never going to help you grow. I realize money can get you places. I realize money can get you books. I realize money can get you in front of people. I realize money can help you experience something. I promise you that you will never grow from it. I need you to realize that money will never grow you at all. I need you to realize that free work will. I need you to realize what this video is. I need you to realize that I do free work here. I grow from this. I realize this is all the money in the world for me. I realize those people who have attention today, I realize they're stupid idiots. I realize no matter what, I have attention with I only. I realize no matter what, I also need attention. I also say no matter what, that many people have attention just for money. I realize many people are chasing money while they have attention. I realize the people who truly have attention are the ones such as Jesus Christ. I need you to see a man who never worked for money. I need you to see a man who had such richness that no woman around him would ever have sex with him. I promise you Jesus needed a kid. I promise you Jesus would have loved to have a stripper on him. I promise you that Jesus would have loved to have kids and have sex. I promise you that no woman even gave him a chance. I promise you that in today's world, many women never even give me a chance. I promise you they say you have too many small muscles. I promise you they say you have a beard. I promise you they say everything about me. I promise you they say every single flaw that I have. I promise you they mention that. I never care. I promise you they're slaves to money. I promise you when I look at a woman, I see a woman, sometimes I see all she needs is money. I never need those women. I realize I need a woman that grows. I look in a woman, I first look to see, does she need money from me? I promise when she says yes to that, I just go away, I go somewhere else. I never care about that. I never care to give her money. I never care to support her with money. I need you to realize I have something more than money. I have something that money can never buy. I never need to work like a slave for her so that she can go and cheat on me. I realize that she only needs the money from me. I realize that she's never really with me for my wisdom and who I am. I realize I never need those women. I never care how sexy she is. I realize she needs bigger muscles. I never care about that. I need to realize I care about looking good. I'm a vegan. I quit all the toxic poisons. I do God's work. I do it for free. I never care about money. I care about growth. I'm a person who's always developing. I'm always a person who's doing better for God. I do it for God. I never do it for anybody. I realize in the crowd around me, I realize the women just go for one. I realize they go for money. I realize some women go for one. I mean, they go for the person who they believe is just beautiful and growing. I mean, those women I need. I need those women who will just go for you because you're growing. I see many women, they are going for men who are dying. Whereas they're just below average and they're going for them because they have money and because they have some connections. I realize those women are also dying. I realize that when a person's dying, I promise you, that person is going for far less than they deserve. I promise you, when you're degrading yourself, you'll find someone who's even more degraded than you when you're getting married. I promise you that when you're degrading yourself, you'll never find a person who is just like you. I promise you'll find someone worse. I promise you that's the road of degradation. I never need you to go there. I promise you it's perverted. I promise you that if you're on a road where you're degrading yourself, I need you to involve God with it. I will also explain this in another video. I need to do more videos anyway. I need you to realize that money here is never the root of all evil. I need you to realize that the love of money is the root of all evil. I realized that the Bible, I was very confused about this message. I realized that the love of money really means that you love money so much that you go work for it. I realized when you're working for something, I just need you to go work for God. I never need you to work for love of this world. I never need you to work for somebody's love. I never need you to be a slave to anybody in the world. I never need you to be a slave for me. I'll never ever be a person who has Tony Robbins employees and Grant Cardone's employees. I realize they have over 120 employees each. I realize Grant Cardone has around 500. I realize Tony Robbins has life coaches who work for him. I never have anybody who works for me. I promise you, I never will. I never will have people who work for me. I will always say that people must work for God. I realize that in my future, I have no employees except for I. I promise you that my only employee is I. I make my life. I have no need for other employees in my life. I just need you to grow with me. I promise that I'm that type of person that will help you grow. I never care about anything else. I never care for your money. I never care about who you are. I just care for you to grow. I just do it for God. I never even do it for myself. I never even do it for myself. I do it for nobody in this world except for God. I do it for something above me. I realize this way I put money out of the equation. I never have money in my life. I realize I always find myself with money anyway. I never care about money. I just go do free work. I realize that money arrives. I realize that money is never an issue when I work for God. I promise you when I work for God, I'm improving. I'm improving. I do that freely. I realize other people need money for that. I realize they're blocking themselves. I never need you to block yourself to grow. I realize Grant Cardone's doing that. I realize Tony Robbins is doing it. I realize Lewis Howes is doing it. I realize many people are doing it. I need you to realize that many people are slaves in the money sequence. I honestly see with Lewis Howes, I see the guy is also doing a lot of free work. I appreciate that. I just never need you guys to price. I never need you to price yourself. I never need you to go and say my book costs $5. I realize that your book costs way more than that. I realize that the word costs is a stupid word. I need you to realize that you never use stupid words. I need you to use better abbreviations. I'll show you a better abbreviation than costs. I'll say investment. I'll say investment. I'll say capital. I'll say cash flow. I realize this is more abbreviations in terms of finance. I realize a financial statement is another one. I need you to realize that you never price your books. I never need you to price your material. I realize that Bitcoin is coming into the market now. I realize that blockchain is in the world now. I realize no matter what, I need you guys to never price your stuff in those realms. I realize that people need to make money. I never need you to make money. I need you to work for God. I never care about the drama. I realize that you guys are dramatizing everything about money. I realize you guys are dramatizing too much about how much money you're going to make. I never care about your money. I never care that you make $1 trillion. I promise you that those people who have more money than all the world, I promise you they are slaves also. I promise you they work like slaves. I promise you they have no God. I promise you they have no God. I promise you now that those people who work for free, I promise you those people have God. I promise you that those people are always going to be able to grow. I promise you those people always teach you how to do everything. I realize I do all this for free. I do it free. I do it as my passion for God. I realize I never do anything for myself anymore. I never watch pornography for myself anymore. I involve God with it. I say, God, I'll watch pornography now. I need you to come with me. I realize that when I do it behind the Father's back, I realize when I do it behind God's back, I promise you, God makes me sin. I realize it's never really God. I realize I make myself sin by hiding it from God. I never need you to hide anything from God. I realize I have nothing to fear anymore. I realize no matter what, I also work only for free. I never work for myself. I never work for anybody. I work for God. I realize God is my boss. I realize God is everything in my life. I work every single day. I do this for free. I enjoy it. I enjoy helping people grow. I realize that many people are around the planet and have 1.5 billion followers. I never care. I realize they have 1.5 billion followers. I never care about them. I really need to say that they have over 1 million followers. I never care about them. I realize they deserve more than that. I honestly say that. I will say also that what you have today is what you get. I realize that to the point of how much work you do in life, I promise you that's what you'll also gain. I need you to realize that I have to also go into the music realm now. I realize I never have to put my music into Spotify and iTunes. I promise that these are just events and applications today to put your music inside. I never have to put my music anywhere in SoundCloud. I only have to put my music inside of my Mega Drive. I see anything in my life that's so important, I realize it's only that I invest it into God. I realize that I gain money through free handouts. I love free handouts. I love money for free. I never have to work for it. I realize I deserve it. I realize I deserve to never work for money. I realize I deserve it. I work for God. I realize other people need you to have a certification for you to speak. I realize they're stupid. I realize they're already going by the laws of society. I realize they're losing. I realize there are people who say, who gave you the certification for you to speak? I realize I just go away from those people. I realize other people need certificates to really recognize themselves. I realize that today many people are going into universities. I realize they're going into getting bank loans. I realize they're going to colleges. I realize they're building up this massive debt for themselves. I realize they're losing in life. I realize they're losing in life for some education that will never ever give them that education. I promise you, I gave $13,000 to Australian Institute of Music for one idea. I promise you that $13,000 now went into my music. I just put into my music. I realized I gave more for my music. I never really learned anything at Australian Institute of Music. I did, however, have an experience. I had an experience of the college lifestyle. I realized how that went. I realized no matter what, from that point, I got myself an audiobook. I started to read. I realized from that point, I gave $13,000 to learn what I have today. I realized it worked out for me. I realized I lost nothing. I lost nothing for it. I just gained something. I realized I never have to give that money back anyway. I never have to give them money back until I make 50 grand. I've already made the money. I've already made all the money in the world. I need you to understand I'm already a trillionaire. I'm already a multi-trillionaire. I realize that you guys need proof for that. I realize that you need some kind of proof that I have $1 trillion. I promise you that in the free will of my Father, God, I promise you I work for God. I promise you I have everything. I promise you I have everything. I promise you, I give you my testimony now. I do everything for free. I do everything for free. I promise you, I have more money than you. I have more money than everybody. Only when you guys are never working for free. I promise that you can do more than me. I promise that Jesus said that you guys can do more than everybody. I promise you, no matter what. I promise you, no matter what. I will always do more than everybody. I will always do more. I promise you that I have a life to live. I have the next 73 years to live. Otherwise, no matter what, I have more than that. I promise I will never die. I will never die in this world. I live a lifestyle of slow freedom. I learn slow, I do slow, I love slow. I never care about the money. I never care how I'll get around the world. I never care because I just do God's work. I promise you that God will find a way for me. I promise you where there's a will, there's a way. I hear God say. I promise you that I have no problems in life. I have no problems because I'm free. I promise you I have eliminated most of my habits that were negative. I will say I got off the drugs. I got off the alcohol. I got off the cigarettes. I got off the caffeine. I got off the meat. I got off many people's backs. I left the crowd. I promise you I increased my money that way. I increased my money that way. I promise you as soon as you never take the medication and the pills and the drugs and the cigarettes, I promise you already have freedom more. So I promise you already made money. I found over 50,000 ways in my lifetime. In my journal, I wrote it all down. I promise you that you just go in there, and I promise you that you have to really go and do what I do. I realize no matter what, I teach it all. I teach you how to lose weight. I teach you how to do anything in life. I realize that no matter what you are doing in life, I realize it's just never for the money. I promise you that money is never evil. I promise that working for money and pricing yourself for money is evil. I promise that giving money is never evil. I promise you that you give money. I need you to realize that when Jesus had a woman come up to him and she threw her last penny inside of Jesus' foundation, I promise you she had to pay taxes. I promise you she had to give money for taxes. I never need you to pay anything. I need you to give money. I need you to invest. I promise you that she gave the last penny to Jesus. I promise you she had nothing to eat. I promise you Jesus said, I believe in Jesus. I said, for example, I see Jesus say in the Bible, I heard him say that this woman here already gave more than all of you because she gave her last bit of money so that somebody else can live life. I realized other people are giving millions of dollars to Jesus. I promise Jesus said that this woman already gave more than they did because she had the freedom. I need you to realize what he said. I need you to realize that she gave everything of herself for freedom. Realize that she gave her last penny for Jesus. I promise you, when you give everything for Jesus, I promise you give more than those people who gave millions of dollars for Jesus. I need you to realize how powerful that is. I need you to realize that in that blessing that I just realized, I realized that woman became free by giving Jesus everything. I also need you to give Jesus everything. I need you to realize that you give God everything. I need you to take off your clothes. I need you to do everything for God. I need you to throw everything at God. I need you to invest in God. I never need you to invest in people. I never need you to invest in people. I realize that people will disappoint you. I need you to go invest everything of your money and your soul into God. I never care about your passions either. I need you to see that you make God your passion. I make God my passion. I realize my passions are music and life coaching. I do that for God. I realize that's God's passions. I realize that's not us. I realize that's not us. I realize that's never even my passion. I realize my passion is God. I work for God with these passions. I realize these passions are God's passions. I do everything for God now. I realize no matter what, I still go ahead and I do God's work. I realize I never lose my wisdom. I never lose anything about me. I realize that money will never make you better. I promise you that the more money you have, I promise you that you can realize that it will never grow you. I promise you that you realize it will never make you happier. I need you to realize that you need to be happier. I realize that you need skills. I realize that you need abbreviations. I need you to speak up. I need you to really be a leader in a way that you never get killed in this lifetime. I never need you to get killed in the world. I realize the world has full of egos. I realize that Mahatma Gandhi was assassinated. I realize Martin Luther King was assassinated. I realize that John F. Kennedy was assassinated. I realize Tupac was assassinated. I realize Jesus was assassinated. I see these guys are leaders in their trends. I realize they get shot. I realize they get shot by egos. I need you to realize that you never get shot in this lifetime of where you're living in life. I realize I have to lay low while Tony Robbins is working the earth. I have to walk low in terms of I have to be behind the scenes doing this work while Tony Robbins is in front of people emulating Jesus. I realize no matter what, I realize I respect Jesus. I realize I respect Tony Robbins. I realize I have to shut the fuck up. I realize I'll die. I realize somebody's gonna fucking shoot me. I realize somebody's gonna shoot me in life. I have to lay low. I have to go another direction. I have to do my life coaching techniques. I have to do everything that I do in life coaching. I promise you that people around me never even appreciate my work. I promise you they never appreciate my work. I show them results. I show them I lost 47 kilos. I show them I quit smoking. I show them I quit all my drugs. I show them I am a vegan. I show them I've been traveling for 10 months Australia. I promise myself no matter what, I fucking never care about them anymore. I never do it for their attention anymore. I do it for God's attention now. I realize God is more than this world. I realize God is more population than this world. I realize I work for heaven. I work for eternity. I realize that's my passion. I never care about their attention. I never care anymore. I realize they never even ask me for results. I realize I show them results. I show them results. I show them I lost my weight. I realize they never care. I realize they never care to help their loved ones with me. I realize they never care to do anything with me. I give them so much knowledge about everything. I post on Instagram. I post my stories 100 times or more. I realize they're watching. I realize they're talking bad behind my back. I realize I am helping them and they're backstabbing me at the same time. I just never need that. I will, although, get backstabbed by people. I never care. I realize there are people like that. I realize that as long as I get backstabbed in this world, I promise that Jesus is unsafe. I promise you that somebody can kill Jesus. I need loyal people on the planet. I need people who are growing. I need to make leaders here. I need to make leaders. I need to contribute also. Otherwise, people are saying for me and what I'm doing. I'm doing something. I never care about them. I never ask about them. I realize they're missing out on me. I realize Tony Robbins has to go and interview all the best. I realize that Tony Robbins will never interview me. I promise you, only God interviews me now. I only go to the best anyway. I need you to realize that no matter what, I already lost my faith in this world. I've never lost my faith in God. I realize God holds me up. I realize I can now grow. I can really help myself live. I will teach my kids how to live life. I'll teach my kids. I'll have many of them. I'll have kids. I'll teach them to go to my school of life. I'll teach them to watch what I did in life. I hide nothing from my kids. I watch pornography. I do drugs. I can show them. I don't care. I promise that you need to expose yourself in life. I promise you need to expose every aspect of who you are in life. I promise that your family deserves it. Although will never give my password towards my family until prior toward death with this mega drive. I realize no matter what, I realize that's something of my business anyway. I realize no matter what, I always make mistakes. I never mistake myself anymore. I never fail anymore. I've got nothing to fail about. I realize that people are causing drama around money. I realize people are causing drama around the world, around sickness. I realize people are causing drama around everything that is never God. I realize people are encouraging other people to go for other people. I realize people are taping other people and making it about other people. I realize that is evil. I never need you to make it about other people. I need you to go and promote God. I need you to realize that money will never get you anywhere. I promise you that money will never get you anywhere. I promise you that God will. I never need you to be without money. I need you to realize that you never need money. I need you to realize that it's never evil. I realize that money will show up in your life anyway. I need you to realize that God will give you money when you're working for free. I realize when you're going to hustle for money. I realize when you're going to work like a slave for money. I realize that you'll never have God in your life. I realize you'll never be shining. I realize you'll never be anyone high up there. I realize only God can make you high up there. I realize that you without God is nothing. I promise you, you're just dust. I realize you're just dust. I need you to realize that the same goes for me. I just work for God. I need you to also work for God. I need you to realize that money never matters. I need you to realize that the beautiful connotation about this video is it teaches you how to work for free. I need you to realize that you need to work for free. I realize that no matter what, you need to realize that it's about money in this video. I realize that money is also freedom. I need you to realize that money only gains money. I never realized, no matter what, I realized that money will never gain freedom. I realized that freedom gains money. I promise you that you never screw it up. I never need you to screw it up. I need you to realize that money begets money. I need you to realize that freedom begets freedom. I need you to realize that money will never create freedom. I hear the term financial freedom. I realize it's a bullshit freedom. I realize financial freedom is bullshit. I realize there's no such thing. I realize there's no such thing as financial freedom. I realize with money, you always need more. I'd rather you have more money. I'd rather you have more money in life. I just realized I'd rather you have freedom over money. I realize that when you're free, you'll always be free. I realize when you're free, you always have more freedom. I just need you to realize that freedom is something more than money. I realize that freedom is something that you gain instantly. I realize that you're free already. I realize when you come into the world, you're free. I realize that people make you bound. I realize that people will come into your life. They'll say, you need to go and work for money now. I realize that you're gaining this much money off the government. I need you to go and work like a slave because you are never entitled for this amount of money. I have to work. I need you to go and work. I promise you that people will confuse you this way. I promise you they scare you. I promise you that your parents will never even care about you. I promise you that they are also slaves. I also never know that. I never know. I promise you that I just guess. I promise you that 99% of the world are slaves. I promise you that 99% of the world never even know God. I'm the 1% that knows God. I know God. I talk to God always. I'm aware of God. I realize that God's always with me. I'm aware of God. I do it for free. I have to get the wisdom behind that. I have to realize to learn and grow. I have to push myself. I realize all this time I've been doing this work. I've been doing it for 5 years now. I've been doing it for 6 years. I've been just growing. I see results. I have to keep improving. I see Tony Robbins. I have to become like Tony Robbins. I have to become like Tony Robbins. I have to become like Tony Robbins. I have to go around doing everything he does. I just fucking believe in it. I realize fucking now, I fucking never have to do that. I fucking go a better road now. I go the Armin van Buuren road. I have to be Armin van Buuren. I have to be Armin van Buuren. I have to go fucking everywhere. I have to go Ibiza. I have to fucking go everywhere. I have to fucking play my music. I have to fucking create my music now. I realize no matter what, I only have my ass to drag around. I realize that's a skill. I realize that's a skill that you can use also. I also delay kids. I delay women. I never need them. I just need God. I realize that a woman will never get me into eternity. I realize my kids will never get me into eternity. I realize nobody in this world will ever get me into eternity. I promise you that. I'd rather work for God. I promise you that many people are confused about money and how it's used. I never need you to use money in the first place. I never need you to use money. I need you to realize that you just need to work for free. I just need you to work for free. I never need you to have money in mind. I realize there are many issues in the world about money. I realize that people are scamming money. I realize that money is a scam. I realize that when somebody offers you money, I realize no matter what, that you go and grab it for yourself. I realize when it's freely given, you must receive it. I never need you to decline money. I never need you to decline a present that God may have sent you. I realize that when people give you free money, I realize it's really God that's really giving you free money. I realize that free is always with God. I realize that nobody can put a price tag on free. I never know what financial freedom is. I know freedom though. I know what freedom is. I have all types of freedom. I have all types of freedom. I never care about the other freedom. I understand there is personal freedom. I understand there is financial freedom. I understand there is emotional freedom. I never care about that. I care about freedom only. I have freedom in all aspects. I need you to realize that emotional freedom is much more important than financial freedom. I need you also to realize that personal freedom is much more important than financial freedom. I need you to realize that you just be free. I need you to have a soul in the process. I need you to realize that you're a process growing. I need you to see the next 100 years of your life. I may see you go, wow. I realize you never even had a goal about that. I need you to have a goal to live for the next 300 years. I hear you say, wow. I understand that you need to plan. I can teach you how to plan. I can teach you how to plan. I need you to realize that you are important. I realize no matter what, that you go and do your work for free over that time. I promise you that I have many dreams around going around the world. I realize that I never have to worry about it anymore. I'm free. I'm free. I have the best lifestyle. I'm free. I need you to realize what I think over here. I see freedom everywhere in my life. I see I can go anywhere. I have freedom. I have freedom. I have nothing to lose. I have nothing else to plan. I have nothing else to do except for free work. I just go. I'm free. I realize that money involved though, I realize now it gets complex. I realize you need $2,000 to get here. I realize you need $5,000 to get to this place. I realize that you need to give this person 10,000. I realize you need to get to this person 10,000. I realize you need to give this person something. I realize your family needs some money. I realize you have to calculate something to give them some money. I realize that you need to go to accommodation in Spain because you need to go and see the gladiators for this much. I realize this much is entry for $20. I never do it for money. I realized you also have to go, and you have to go to Italy, Spain. You have to also go and give money for the Autobahn. I realized how poor that is. I think like this. I have to go everywhere around the world for free. I fucking never care anymore. I never care about the money. I'll give you the fucking money. I don't have to fucking calculate anything anymore. I never care. I'm fucking free to live everywhere. I'm fucking free to live at this place for $1,000 fucking bucks a night. I never fucking care. I can afford it. I'm fucking for free. I work for free. How much did you say? I fucking give you 10 times more. I'm fucking free. I'm freer than what you fucking give. I realize that with freedom around the world, when you see the world map, I realize I can go everywhere for free. I realize there's no money calculations there. I realize I can go to this place. How much is it? Free. I realize I go over here. I realize the distance. How much is it? Free. I see it's all free. I see the distance between places is free. I realize to go and live in this place because it's a mansion. I realize it's for free. I realize to own 500 real estates is free. I will also say something. I never need to own anything of this world. I realize to rent out 500 real estates so that I can put people in there. I realize that's for free. I just never need you to own anything of this world. I need you to realize that you let go of everything. I never need this fucking phone. I never need this fucking body that I live in to go to heaven. I fucking never need anything from this world. I never fucking care about this world. I promise you that my dad fucking has all this stuff. I give no fucks about this stuff. I promise you, I'll put the couch here. I'll put the fucking laptop here. I realize that whole fucking side I chuck it out. I don't fucking care about that. I realize he needs it. I realize he needs it because it completes him in some kind of way. I realize he fucking needs possessions around him. I never need possessions. I realize it's my biological father. I have a heavenly father too. I only care about my heavenly father. I'll say that. I also need to recognize something. I need to recognize that everything that I ever have is because of my heavenly father. I need you to realize that when you're going around the world, I realize it's always for free. I need you to realize it's for free. I need you to see that there's no such thing as money calculations. I promise you that when you're working for free, I promise you that you have no money worries. I promise you that you'll always be able to go wherever you need for free. You can always do it for free. I promise that God will let you do it for free. I never need you to get confused about money. I realize that Grant Cardone is very confused about money. I realize the guy has $2 billion. I realize he's very confused about money. I realize other people have trillions of dollars. I see Grant Cardone's little ants in the skies compared to those people who have trillions. I need you to realize that more people in the world will have more money than Grant Cardone. I realize though that Grant Cardone in his freedom work, I realize he's doing more than most people. I realize he's up there with 1% of the world in terms of freedom. I will say that. I realize in the money sequence, I realize he's fucking failing all running around. I don't even need you to fucking worry about money. I realize he's fucking talking about money all the time. I realize the guy's fucking worried about money. I realize that guy has a money shortage in his life. I realize he owes the bank $1 billion. I realize he has 8,000 real estates that have to fucking give back $1 billion to the bank. I realize he's in debt $1 billion and he has 8,000 real estate units. I realize the guy's fucking managing a big fucking shithole there. I see how much money he has in life. I realize he has to fucking manage all those people. I realize he has to gain investors. I realize he's gaining investors from outside circumstances to give him money. I realize he's getting people from outside circumstances to give him money to get more units so that he can give more money to the bank, so that he can borrow more money from the bank, so that he can owe more so that he can own more of the world. I realize he's trying to take over the world like Rothschild. I realize he's pure evil. I realize the guy's pure evil in that manner. I promise you. I don't even care about his fucking 8,000 units in his life. I realize the guy fucking invested 30 years of his lifetime making the grasp to go and take over the world and own fucking real estate. I need you to realize that you own real estate. I never need you to own real estate. I never need you to own real estate. I need you to see that you go and gain real estate as a rental place. I need you to rent real estate. I need you to just manage real estate so that you can place people in real estate so that you can gain money from that. I realize that Grant Cardone is also teaching real estate and how to do that. I appreciate that. I just never need you to work for the money. I need you to work for freedom. I realize there's a massive difference between that. I realize those who work for free will always never have money problems. I realize that Grant Cardone has many money. I realize that Grant Cardone has many money problems. I realize that Grant Cardone has many money problems. I realize no matter how much he's done, I realize that other people have done more in money-wise. I realize that no matter what, that God will always take care of you and your family with any amount of money that you need. I realize that money may be $5,000 in your lifetime. I realize that may be everything that you need. I believe it. I never care where you've lived in life. I realize that God will always give more than enough money for you. I realize there's a word freedom coming around in this world. I promise that God is working for free everywhere. I realize that God's always working for free. I realize that God needs people to work for free. I realize that when you're working for free, you're working for God. I promise when you work for freedom, you'll always be free. I never need you as a slave in a 9-to-5 job. I never need you to work for Bitcoins. I never need you to work fucking in a 9-to-5 job. I never need you to work in anything for anybody else. I never need you to work for yourself. I need you to work for God. I never work for myself. I am God's employee. I am God's business, everything. I realize no matter what, I'm always doing something for God. I realize I go to the Bible. I realize I look at Jesus. I realize I see Jesus live. I realize that guy walked for God. I need you to do the same. I realize there's a massive difference between Grant Cardone and Jesus. I realize Jesus never owned real estate. I realize Grant Cardone has 8,000 real estates under his name. I realize that he owns the real estate. I realize, honestly, I can see that. I can see he owns the real estate. I realize no matter what, he has to vanquish it anyway. I realize when he dies, I realize that real estate will be somebody else's. I realize that's temporary. I realize no matter what, that you go and make the money for what you need. I promise you then you have to maintain it. I promise you maintain it. I promise you then just let it be. I promise you then hand over the keys to somebody else. I promise you that you can do that. I realize that your whole company will fall when you have 50,000 employees working for you. I promise you that company is a disaster. I promise you that company will fall. I promise you that all companies fall. I promise you that every single fucking company in the world will fall except for the people who work for free. I promise you that Grant Cardone, even though he has employees, I promise you he's doing more free work than all the fucking people in his company. I promise you he's at the fucking top of the fucking chain in his company because he's doing more work for free than any of his fucking employees. I realize he's working more for God. I realize that his fucking business that has 500 employees, I realize they're all fucking going their separate ways. I realize they're just working for the money. I realize Grant Cardone will die. I realize who is going to take over Grant Cardone's business. I realize those people are fucking going to die too. I realize the business is a failure. I realize that whole fucking business is a failure. I never need to have a fucking setting of those people in my lifetime. I realize those people will never stay with me. I'll go and fucking make those people read my fucking Mega Drive for free. I realize I never have to fucking talk to them I never have to talk to them in my life. I realize that's a fucking successful business. I give all my attention to God instead. I don't have to fucking manage 500 people. I don't know what the fuck I'll do with those people. I need you to go and call up this place to get me some money. I can hear Grant Cardone say. I realize what you're working for. I realize you're fucking working to take over the world over here. I realize Grant Cardone needs that. I realize he needs people to go find him some money. I fucking never need that. I realize he has a saying, who's got my money? I realize that. I love that saying. I love that because it's a question. Who's got my money? I say God has my money. I say God has everything for me. I realize nobody else has your money. I realize nobody else will give you money. I realize that people invite Grant Cardone into a podcast. I realize they say, I don't fucking care about your money. I don't fucking care what you made. I see Grant Cardone saying, I understand. I understand too. I never fucking care about his money either. I care about the freedom